We have the director of the West African Center for Cell Biology of Infectious Pathogens, Professor Gordon Awanduri, joining us via Zoom. Good afternoon, Prof.
Good afternoon.
Prof, thank you for joining us. Prof, first, can you first of all tell us if it is a hoax or not that about the recurrent infection in somebody who has been vaccinated? Is this possible, and can you confirm or otherwise?
Well, I do not have that information. I'm just hearing it for the first time. But yes, it's possible that somebody can be infected even after taking the second dose. We've had it in other countries, so it's not strange. And this can happen because, first of all, none of the vaccines are 100% effective. Yeah. In addition, because you have new variants, some of the variants are more resistant to the vaccine than others. So it's possible. That's why we keep encouraging people to continue to observe the protocols even after they've been vaccinated. Because the vaccine, what it does is it reduces your chances of getting infected. And if you get infected, it protects you from severe disease and death. But it's not absolute, so you have to still protect yourself. Until we have herd immunity and the virus recedes and we know that the risk is low, then we can start to go back to normal.
Right. Prof, how many variants do we have in the country as at now, at this point, and then what are the visible symptoms?
Well, the last time we checked, we have about 46 variants in the country. I don't know, what do you mean by symptoms? Symptoms of what?
Visible symptoms, perhaps, of the Delta variant. Is there a symptom that's different from the other ones? Something that visible that perhaps we can tell if this person is infected or not?
No, as far as I know, there's no difference. So unless you sequence the sample, you wouldn't know if you have the new variant. So it has to be sequenced before you can tell. So you can't just tell from a clinical checkup.
Right. And Prof, we are also being told that the Delta variant, it doesn't respond to the AstraZeneca and the Sputnik V vaccines. How worried should we be about this?
So that's actually not accurate. I've seen those media reports saying that I said it's not, it's not effective, it doesn't respond. I didn't say that. Like I mentioned earlier, the vaccines, they have their relative strengths. None of them is completely useless, and none of them is completely protective. So they have different degrees of potency against the different variants.
Okay.
So yes, so we are saying that some are more effective against the variant than others, but it doesn't mean that the others cannot protect you at all. So it's a relative protection. Okay, and what type of protection? So you can talk about protection from getting infected. Yeah, that's the best protection.
Yes.
If you talk about protection from getting symptomatic infection, that means when you get infected, whether you feel symptoms. Now, if you can't protect from that, then you go to the next level, protection from severe disease. So you can get infected, you can get symptoms, but not be severe. And then the last level is protection from death. So you can get infected, you can get sick, but you wouldn't die. So there are different levels of protection. And the different vaccines have different, ability to protect from these different levels. So that's what we are comparing. But we are not saying any particular vaccine is useless.
Right. Okay, Prof, before we let you go, generally we seem to have forgotten that about the need to observe the COVID-19 protocols. Are there any measures that we can take to prevent any catastrophe?
Yes. Let's stop having funerals.
Right. Prof, we seem to have lost you. Can you hear me? Well, that was the Director for the West African Center for Cell Biology of Infectious Pathogens, Professor Gordon Awande, who joined us via Zoom, and he was giving us insights about the recurrent infection, the supposed recurrent infection in the fully vaccinated person, and he says that's not true. And he also says the only way to combat this, if the perfect measure is to stop having funerals, and then we lost him there.